Throughout the story, we kind of allude to the fact that Peter Parker has been struggling to do Peter Parker things. And we know that every universe, every iteration of Spider-Man, Peter always struggles. He can never fully be Peter. He can never fully dedicate himself to a job, to his love life, to his friends, because he's always busy doing Spider-Man stuff. So throughout the game, we see a lot of his struggles. He gets a brand new job teaching in a high school where on his first day during a big attack, instead of being there for his students, he had to leave to be there for the city. He ends up getting fired. So throughout the story is kind of alluding, kind of pushing to the fact that maybe Peter can't be Spider-Man anymore. And then you have Miles, who's coming up. He's kind of going through similar things, but he's younger, and it's kind of going through what Peter went through when he was a teen and he was still being Spider-Man as a teen. So the game basically finishes up with Peter and MJ moving in together. Everybody's having dinner, and then Peter takes Mary Jane out to the garage to show her the new Emily May Foundation that he's going to be working on. So it's like a new business that he's going to be running to keep Harry's memory alive and their goal to make the world a better place. But obviously he cannot dedicate all of his time to that because he is Spider-Man. So as he's showing her all of this and they're very excited to start this next chapter in their life, there's a notification that he gets saying that somebody is in danger. So he needs to go do Spider-Man things once again. But before he ends up taking off, Miles is already ready to go. So Peter takes that opportunity to talk to Miles, and he basically wants to ask him if he's okay taking charge of being Spider-Man. Is he okay being the only Spider-Man in the city? You know, Peter has a hard time relaying that to Miles, and he has a hard time trying to explain himself, trying to tell him that. Miles cuts him off and, lets him know that he understands, that he can do it, that he is Spider-Man, and that he'll just call him every once in a while to ask for any advice that he may have. So this sets up a story where Miles becomes the only Spider-Man in New York, at least for a while. I believe story-wise is to give Miles another solo game, another solo experience. Like you could get a Spider-Man Miles Morales Part 2, where the explanation for Peter not being around and the explanation for him being the only Spider-Man in town is because Peter needed a break, a very, very long break. I don't think that this is a Peter Parker is retiring and in Spider-Man 3 he will no longer be Spider-Man. I think that would be too rushed. I don't think fans would like that. No matter how much you like Miles, you want to continue to see Peter and his stories. So I think this is just a way to give Insomniac the ability to make a game that only focuses on Miles, and possibly you could tackle a Spider-Man 3 story where Miles, for at least half of Spider-Man 3, is the main character. He is the main Spider-Man, and then something happens with certain villains or it gets too tough and Peter comes out of retirement. But at least this way you're able to take breaks and they can help each other out. So maybe Miles goes to college, Miles is doing some stuff, and Peter can take over for a little bit. Peter needs to get back to work, Miles can take over for a little bit. So it's very helpful. And since we're talking spoilers of the end and everything, there's another iteration of a web slinger coming into New York, into this Insomniac world that they've created. So the possibility of there being multiple Spider-Man and or Spider-Woman to carry the mantle and protect the city is getting really big. So what does the ending for Spider-Man 2 mean? I personally think that it just means that Peter will be taking a very, very long and extended break from being Spider-Man, from Spider duties, and Miles is going to take over. So I think that's where we're at. I think it's a good move by Insomniac, again, to, make another game regarding Miles and just give Peter that quiet life that he wants, at least for a little bit. But there's no way in hell that this is the end for Peter Parker or that he retires. That could happen in Spider-Man 3. I don't know how many games Insomniac plans to make out of Spider-Man, but with the way they're setting things up, I don't think the end is anywhere near. So those are just my thoughts on the overall ending of Spider-Man 2 and what it means for future installments. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Keep a lookout as we'll be releasing more videos throughout the week regarding Spider-Man.